Hello guys, and welcome to another tutorial today. It's going to be another Photoshop one, and we're going to be making something just like this. I'm going to be walking you through today and also provide you with everything you need. So in a link below I'm going to include all these images. It's the loading screens for Black Ops 2. We're going to be making our own wallpaper similar to this one here. So I'm just going to show you my one like I have, and I'm going to recreate one and talk you through it. So let's pick a new image. I'm going to go with Aftermath. So we've got our Aftermath, sorry. What we need to do now is, everyone's screen size is different. So what you're going to do is press Print Screen, go to File, New, and it'll automatically have the sizes of your screen. Just click OK, and it will create a document of the same size as your screen. So this is how big your wallpaper will need to be. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drag our image into this new document, and I'm just going to hold down Shift and Alt and drag it outwards so that it fills the whole screen. Hit Enter. So now we've got our image. So first off, we're going to need to start off with a pattern. I'll include these patterns in the description, but I'm sure you can find a similar one that's already in your palette. So first of all, I'm going to use a horizontal line pattern. So as you can see, if I zoom in, it's just horizontal lines. Just going to go to 100%, so this is how you'll see it. As you can see, you don't see the lines as distinctively, but it does give it a nice dark effect, as opposed to when it's off, which is very smooth. So what we're going to do now, it's always a good habit, whether you're using them or not, to drag out your guidelines to the middle. It will usually lock on in the middle like it has done for me, but if not, you can go to View, New Guide, and you can type in your like 50% for each of them. So I'm just going to drag out my other guide again. There we go. So first off, we're going to start off by making this shape that's in the middle. It's not too doesn't matter what the shape is, but I think it works good with a nice like rhombus, I think it is, kind of shape, pointy. Alright, so we're going to go back to Photoshop and create our size. So I'm going to be a bit messy with the bottom layer because I'm just going to cut that bit off anyway. So if I just go to Fill, I'm just going to fill it with black. Sorry, I need to put on a new layer. Let's start that again. So I'm holding down Shift here to keep the angles at 45 degree or 90 degrees, so as you can see it locks on. Hit Enter to stop making the pattern. It makes it into a marquee. So I'm just going to get my bucket tool and fill it. Make sure it's on a new layer, which it is. Sorry, I'm filling it with my pattern, that's why. Let's go to foreground, fill it, there we go, that's what I needed. Now I'm just going to get this rectangle marquee and cut off the bottom bit to keep it nice and neat. As you can see, we've got our pattern. What I'm going to do now is go to the layer which we need, which we've shown me the shape before, and go hit Control T. That'll bring up the guide. So I'm just going to position it in the middle. You can use this marker to point it in the middle of the guides that you just made earlier. So we now have got our shape in the middle. You can already see that we've got our it's coming along quite well. I'm just going to drag this below our pattern there, which will be useful for later. And we're going to start editing this shape. So if you just double click on the image, on the preview image, I'm going to take away the fill opacity, and we're going to put on colour overlay. I think I had it on 30%, but you can customise these settings to your likings. Right, so I've made it black, I put the opacity to 30%, I'm also going to go to Inner Glow, make this blend mode normal, colour black, and I'm just going to play around with the size settings to make it how I like it. There we go. So as you can see, it's got like an inner gradient which gives it more of an indent. And just to improve this, I'm going to do the opposite now, do an outer glow. Make it white. Blend mode normal. Increase the size. And decrease the opacity just to make it slightly less obvious. So as you can see it's got like a nice indent kind of feel to it. So if I just take off outer glow and inner glow, you can just notice the difference. So got that done. I like adding a stroke on of 1 pixel just to keep it neat inside. And click OK. So what we're going to do now is let's just go back to our reference. We're going to start doing these 2 orange lines here. Very easy and quick to do. I'm just going to fill the panel with an orange that I like. There we go. Fill. I think it's a bit dark actually. Well, yeah, sorry, that's my bad. That's not because it's under the lines, the layer that we've made earlier with the pattern. There we go, it's much better. And go to reduce the opacity to 90 so we can see through it. And I'm just going to simply delete what we don't need. There we go, and then I'm just doing another line. There we go, I think I want to make it a little bit more skinny. There we go, perfect. So what we're going to do now is just going to hit Control J, which will duplicate the layer. I'm going to drag it down. And now I'm going to merge them by holding down Shift and clicking on both, making sure they're both selected. And then holding down Control and pressing E, which will join them together. And then I'm going to do the effect that I used, where I used a large eraser, as you can see. I took the hardness all the way down, which means it's soft at the edges. I'm just going to delete the top left here and the bottom right here. There you go, I think that's quite nice. I'm just going to go into 100% to see how everything's going. So this is how you're going to be seeing it on your desktop. It's always good to use the zoom tool down here to make sure you can get to 100% and see exactly how it is when it'll be finished. So as you can see, it's coming along nicely. Let's just go back to our background again and just refer it. So as you can see, we've got our background, got our texture, we've got the lines, I've got the shape. All we need now is this text and a couple of effects in this box. So let's go back to our document. I'm just going to add in text. I'm going to go with techie again, but obviously you can use your own ideas. I have actually made a Black Ops 2 font using the characters. The only downside to it is that it's I didn't make it in a render kind of version, so some of the letters are a little curved. I'm going to fix that and I'll re-upload the font so you guys can use it for your designs. So carrying on, I'm just going to increase my font size to, let's just drag this. Right, there we go, it's nice and centered. Another thing is, when you're moving something, you can hold down Shift to keep it aligned to that axis. So when I'm holding down Shift, it'll only move sideways. If I let go and then do it again, and I can make it move upwards. Do that. Here we go. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Step forward. Here we go. There you go, so we're back to where we were. We're viewing at 110%, let's zoom out a little bit. 100%. So as you can see now, getting much closer to the original, final design. And all I'm going to do now is use the text layer again. Press Ctrl J to duplicate it, sorry. You can reduce the font size here down to about 20. And make it white, simply by changing the colour in our palette while the text is selected. I'm going to hit Control V, Control C, V. I'm just going to keep copying and pasting this text layer. Sorry, I'm going to keep copying and pasting this text layer so that we can get almost like a pattern out of it. So when it's wide enough for the whole box, I'm just going to do that all over again. Control C, V, press Enter, and just keep doing that again. And I'm going to drag it up. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on the preview of the shape we made earlier. Go to Select Pixels, Select Invert. And I'm going to go to our text layer and rasterize it. And go to Select. Oh sorry, my bad, we've already inverted it, and then just press Delete, simple as. So as you can see, it's deleted everything that isn't within that shape area. And now we need to drag the text to just above the shape layer, which puts it below everything we don't need it to. And I'm just going to reduce the opacity to a point where it looks good. Remember, it's always best to go to 100%, but to view it in the same way you'd be seeing it in the final product. And I think that's about good, about 10%. So let's go back to our desktop and just compare it to if we've done everything. I think I'm missing one effect, which is one of my patterns on here. What I also did when I made this is that I went to select pixels again, and I added a new layer and went to an extra effect. I went to pattern, I went to my horizontal pattern, and I added that in, which made it slightly darker. So I think that's a pretty nice effect. I'm just going to save this, save as, just save to my desktop, save as tutorial, as a JPEG because it's higher quality, save maximum quality, and then I'm just going to go to my desktop, and this is our tutorial. I'm going to set it as my desktop background, and there we have it. View shows the icons. So it was very simple, very quick tutorial, but it produced a pretty nice background which you can create yourself pretty quickly and easily. So I'll include all the files you need in the download. I'd like to see what you guys create, whether you experiment at all and make your own versions. So if you'd like to go to Image Shack, you can upload your images easily just by signing in with Facebook or Twitter. I'll give you a link and you can share it in the comments. I'd love to see what you've created. So thanks for watching. Hey guys, so I just wanted to make sure that when you downloaded the pack you knew exactly what you're doing with it. So I think I've included everything I said I would. I've got the Black Ops 2 images, which is what you can make your background with. I've got the two files that I used, the one I had as a demo and the one I made with you guys. I got the font, which is the Black Ops 2 font. It's not the highest of resolution, so if the font's too large, as I said, it starts to round off at the edges and doesn't look as slick. But I'm going to try and modify it and fix it, make my own lowercase version, and then I'll upload it in a few weeks, so maybe. I've also got the patterns, and there's a really easy way of how you can install these. It'll also show you, it will teach you how to make your own patterns. So let's just open one of these up. This is the diagonal one. The diagonal lines. All you need to do is get your square marquee tool, select everything, go to edit, define pattern. You could also go to define brush if you just made a brush, define pattern, you name it. So I've already got it, so I don't need to name it. You click OK, and then when you go to use your fill bucket, you can select pattern instead of foreground and find the pattern that you've just made, which is for me this one here. So I hope this has been useful. Hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Really appreciate you leaving a rating below, as I've just started out and putting a lot of effort into my videos, and I'd love to see you guys enjoying them. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.